Hello, hello. We are about to start, so if you can please take a seat, that would be great. Thank you. All right. Enough with the awkward silence. Hello, everyone. I'm Igor, the operations coordinator with Energia. I'm not used to have notes in front of me, so I'm going to be doing a lot of this. Welcome and thank you for joining us for the 8th Energia Ventures Demo Day. We are, we are super excited to have you all with us tonight. It's been a great journey for all these companies here. This is the second cohort we're hosting this year, and out of 80 applicants, or over 80 applicants, 5 companies had been selected. We have Iceberg Cyber from Ontario with Michael. Climatech Innovations from New Brunswick. Asset Slux from Luxembourg. Recircle Waste Management Solutions from Nova Scotia. And finally, Solar5 from the United States. For the past 3 months, these companies worked intensively with mentors, staff, and instructors, and that hard work brought us here today. As a result, we have 5 amazing companies ready for investment. In a few minutes, we will hear their stories of success and celebrate the wonder of entrepreneurship. I would like to welcome Dr. David McGee, Vice President of Research at the University of New Brunswick, for the opening remarks on behalf of UNB.
Thank you, Inbal, and I'll try not to mess my notes up with yours, so we're reading the wrong scripts here. So, good evening, everybody, and it's my pleasure to be here. As a leader in entrepreneurship and innovation, UNB is excited to host the 8th cohort of Energia Ventures. We respectfully acknowledge that UNB stands on the unsurrendered and unceded traditional Wolastoqey land. The lands of the Wabanaki people are recognized in a series of peace and friendship treaties to establish an ongoing relationship of peace, friendship, and mutual respect between equal nations. The river that runs through our city is known as the Wolastoq, along which live Wolastoqey, the people of the beautiful and bountiful river. Wolastoq is also called the St. John River. It is my pleasure to be here with everyone this evening. It is exciting to see the program slowly transitioning back to in-person events. Might be the first one in 3 years or 2 years, something like that. So it is nice to be back in person, and especially exciting with this cohort adopting a hybrid model for the first time since the COVID-19 pandemic started in March of 2020. The accelerator arm of the J. Herbert Smith Center has created an innovative new system for the times we are facing. The current cohort, composed of 5 companies from Canada, the United States, and Luxembourg, have been a hardworking and resilient group. It is great to see diversities not just in origin, but in the breadth of projects in the current cohort of companies. This is a testament to the impressive work taking place at Energia Ventures, the J. Herbert Smith Center, and the Faculty of Engineering. We are all proud that these teams could take part in an excellent accelerator program through the University of New Brunswick. This program provides continued value in education through experience in creating real solutions for cybersecurity, sustainability, and engineering. I look forward to hearing from the companies, and I wish you all the best of luck and to a wonderful evening of celebration. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. McGee. Now I'd like to invite Dr. Dhirendra Shukla, Chair of the J. Herbert Smith Center for Technology Management and Entrepreneurship, to share a few words on behalf of the center.
Don't worry, I don't have notes. I just wanted to, this is an old joke that I've repeated for time and time again. As a prof at UNB, I speak in 3-hour chunks. So, but this time I will keep that short, right, Ivo?
Please,
yes,
yeah.
yes, to help everyone. Look, firstly, wanted to acknowledge all the hard work Belle, Igor, and Joe have done to promote and support entrepreneurs, and the startups that have gone through the accelerator program have been an incredible part of our ecosystem. A round of applause for Joe, Belle, and Igor. Obviously, incredible number of mentors, incredible number of people from the community, facilitators, all were involved in helping and supporting the entrepreneurs. The floor here and the people that we are celebrating are the founders. They've taken it upon themselves to be the change makers, the lead that they believe things need to be different, things need to be better, and they've taken it upon themselves to lead that change. What was incredible about the founders and what I love, and I just love being around and surrounded by founders. They're so positive, so optimistic, and they're willing to wake up the next day, even if things go bad, dust themselves off, and keep going and fighting, and it's beautiful. What I sensed yesterday when I was sat down having dinner and chatting with them, how they're able to help and support each other. And help and support each other and mentor each other and be cheerleaders for each other and create that support mechanism for each other. And what I want to tell the founders is that is incredible, that is beautiful, and as you leave the cohort, make sure you don't forget those relationships and keep them tight and continue to have that in your way to, you see your friend doing well, you see the cohort doing well, let's all come together and celebrate together. And that means that you have to keep us in the loop. As you grow and as you succeed, in a way, we are succeeding and celebrating with you. But that being said, if things are not going your way, we're also here to chat. Even though you finish the cohort, the journey and a connection with us doesn't ever end. So we're celebrating all the founders. Congratulations for being here at this point. A round of applause for all of you. Thank you for selecting Energia. Thank you for being here in person in Fredericton. Just absorb that energy and keep going and fighting. Thank you. That's a wrap.
Thank you, Dr. Shukla, for these kind words. Unfortunately, Joe Allen, the managing director for the accelerator programs, couldn't be here tonight, but he wanted us to share how proud he is of all of you for finishing this program and for building what you are building with your companies. All right. So following up Dr. Dhirendra Shukla, with this sense of community and the network that we always try to build, we invited some of our mentors and instructors to be introducing the main presenters here tonight. So first of all, I'd like to invite Kent Murphy to introduce our first presenter. So Kent.
Thanks, Igor. Ooh, I don't know if I need a mic or not. My name is Kent Murphy, and I'm with Atlantic Growth Solutions, and I have been the sales workshop leader for the cohorts now for about 3 or 4 years. So I get the distinct pleasure of teaching everybody about sales, demystifying sales, and helping them improve sales. So spending 9 hours talking about sales in 3 different 3-hour chunks, spending 9 hours in one-on-ones talking about sales and meeting them where they are and getting them ready for the next step in their business stage. So I get that pleasure, and you get to, I love what I do, and so it's really easy. And so it is my pleasure, and it was the cohort that I'm about to introduce. We connected on 2 levels. The first one was hockey, because he's from Toronto. We got to talk about the Maple Leafs. But when we started talking about sales, this guy lit up the room. And I know I found my the other hockey player in the room that loves sales. And we talked about, I always love to have, and Tosin's back there, and Tosin knows I'm the man of analogies when it comes to sales and situations you're in. And Mike and I just hit it right off. We were able to use enforcer, tough guys, who we knew, and the hockey in sales. So, you know, I'm pleased to introduce the man on top of the iceberg, the enforcer, so to be, who's out there monitoring the bad guys. Not if, when those bad guys come along and want to get into your servers and cause disruption. It's my pleasure to introduce Michael Bakaic from Iceberg Cyber to the podium for his pitch. Congratulations, Mike.
I'm going to walk around on the stage, try not to clip my head on these sprinklers. Good evening, everyone. My name is Michael Bakaic, founder of Iceberg Cyber. And at Iceberg Cyber, we make cybersecurity simple for small businesses. We live in a new world. Automation and AI have made it very profitable for criminals to attack small businesses at scale. Last year, 20% of Canadian businesses were victims of a cybercrime. Let that soak in. 20% of businesses lost money through some sort of criminal activity where a hacker broke into their business and stole money, on an average of $50,000 per company. We're not talking about Google or Microsoft. We're talking about small businesses, people that you know were victims of crime. 1 in 5 businesses in Canada. It amounted to $20 billion across North America last year, stolen by hackers. This is a huge problem. The real victims in this situation are the consumers, people like you. Because the small businesses that are under attack have your personal information, medical records, financial information, and you rely on them for services that are being disrupted by hackers. I'm talking about accountants and lawyers and dentists. These are critical parts of our society that you rely on, and they store your critical information. So you trust your accountant with all of your financial information, but how do you know whether they're protecting your data? That's where Iceberg Cyber comes in. We're the easiest way to track the cyber risks to a business. If you think of the analogy to a credit score, we are the cyber risk score. We make it simple for businesses of all sizes to understand the cybersecurity risks that they face in this world. You can go to our website, type in your information, and get your free cyber risk score. From a scale of 0 to 100, you'll see where you land on this scale. We're tracking employee security, website security, network, and local office security. We're trying to give you a holistic picture of what you look like to a criminal. And it's no surprise how we do this. We use the same tools that criminals use to profile their victims. We use those tools, put it into your cyber risk score, and then provide simple, step-by-step instructions on what you can do to improve your cybersecurity. Come to the website, get your free cyber risk score, and then you can sign up for continuous monitoring, where we will continuously check your score, find the holes in your security, and give you simple instructions on how to improve them. Most of the solutions are not complicated, like changing your passwords, I'm sure many of you reuse the same password for many accounts. It's a huge problem. Criminals exploit that laziness, no offense. Criminals exploit that laziness to steal money from you. We will find out if you reuse your passwords. We'll identify them clearly for you and say, this account, change the password. We've already profiled 2,500 businesses in Canada. We're working on a data set of 8 million in Canada and the United States. We're trying to cover every business in North America. There's 1 million small businesses in Canada, 15 million in the United States, so we're getting up there. Our type of service is perfect for the small businesses that you interact with all the time. Accountants, lawyers, dentists, all of these businesses provide you with critical services and store your information, which is great value for stealing from cyber criminals. So you can see the flow here. Come to the website, get your free cyber risk score. We'll provide you with curated step-by-step instructions, and you improve the security of your business. This is how small businesses can stay alive in this new world. Protect your bottom line, defend your reputation, and most importantly, fend off litigation from when you get breached and your customers come after you and say, you were negligent protecting my personal information. On the flip side, as consumers, now you can see the cyber risk score of the businesses that you want to interact with. Make an informed decision. Store your financial information at an accountant that's taking your privacy seriously. It's very easy to find out. Come to the website, check out their score. If they get a D, don't go with them, because sooner or later, they're going to lose your information and you're on the line. Thank you. The takeaway is, together, we can make sure that you don't become another statistic. My name is Michael Bukage. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Michael. That was a great presentation. My name is Daniel Hoyles, and I am proud to introduce my friend, Dylan Hubble of Climatech Innovations. I am proud of the company that he's building because I am his very first customer. I had Dylan come over to my house and do a quick and simple estimate and give me a score and identify ways that I am improving sustainability in my household. And I can see how there's a realistic application for a hybrid business model where companies and small businesses can take advantage of solutions like the one that Dylan's created to get an estimate of the sustainable score of the work from home solutions that businesses are delivering today. So with enthusiasm, I am here to present to you, Dylan.
Good evening, everyone. So yeah, my name is Dylan Hubble, and I'm the co-founder of Climatech Innovations. Just a second. We are a new company based here in New Brunswick, and we have we're working with local companies. We have local solutions that offer a global impact. So to start out with, the problem. Climate change is happening, and it's happening right here, right now. We're seeing the effects all around us, you know, with the increasing amount of storms, and it's having a real impact on the Atlantic region. And local businesses want to take action. More and more, they're feeling pressure from their customers to be doing something about their impact that they're having, but they don't know how. They're trying different things out. They're changing their light bulbs. They're doing some recycling, but they know they could be doing more, and they're tapped out of ideas. And the only option that exists right now to make a business carbon neutral is through carbon offsetting. So this is complicated. There's no local options, and they've struggled with low levels of trust. So really how the carbon offsetting game works is that it's these large exchanges, and the business has to figure out their own carbon footprint. And then really what they're doing is they're writing a check and hoping that they're having a good impact on the world. So they're not able to they've struggled with that low levels of trust because you can't really see the action. So what is our solution? Our solution is that we work with businesses to help them understand their carbon footprint, and then we come up with a plan to take action right here to offset them and make them carbon neutral. So we do this through restoring forests by planting trees and through protecting forests locally. So our value with this is that we're simple. So the burden isn't on the business to figure out their carbon footprint. We work with you to solve that, and we present a plan to offset it. So our idea here is it's a turnkey solution to make a business carbon neutral. We're tangible. So what we're doing there is we're taking all of this action around planting trees and preserving forests. We're doing that locally to the business. So the idea is within a 30 to an hour-minute drive. And we think this is really important because this allows people to touch and interact with the impact that they're having. And because we're having these trees planted and this forest preserved locally to you, there's an accessibility piece to this. So on all of that land, what we're doing is we're putting in trails, and the public can actually get out and enjoy and walk amongst the impact that the business is having. So this is really a twofold win for the business. Not only are they able to make themselves carbon neutral, but they're making their own nature park that they can show to their customers, their employees, and demonstrate the impact that they're having. So our business model starts with a carbon footprint analysis, which we charge $2,500 for. From this analysis, we're able to determine how many trees need to be planted or how many acres need to be preserved to offset a business's carbon footprint. We then go and take that action, and that's $4 a tree if you want to plant trees, or it's $250 per acre per year to preserve land. And these prices are inclusive of putting trails on that land and setting up a sign for the business so they can be proud and show that this is their land and their impact. So our go-to-market plan. To start out with, we're focusing on New Brunswick because that's the area that we know. And to give some context here on the scale of the opportunity. So we believe between Fredericton, Moncton, and St. John, there lies about a $1.8 million per year opportunity between those three cities that exist right now. In 2024, we want to expand out to the Atlantic region. Finally, we want to go national in 2027. So there are a couple of competitors that are playing in the space, but we believe that Climatech Innovations is the only one that delivers on the simplicity, that local tangible action piece, carbon calculation for a business, and offsetting. So to talk about some of them, there's a group One Tree Planted, which is a large organization down in the States that is a charity. You send the money and they plant trees, but they're really missing out on that tangibility piece. So they're planting trees, which is great, but you're never going to touch those trees. Finally, they don't do anything around carbon offsetting for you. There's a group out in BC, Carbon Forest Trust, which I would say is our closest competitor. So they are offsetting, and it's relatively simple, but again, you're never going to be able to get out and walk amongst your impact and understand what's happening and really seeing your impact there. And finally, as well, that they don't do a carbon calculation, so you have to determine that amount, and you got to figure out yourself. You got to learn the methodologies about how much carbon your business is actually producing and how much to offset. And finally, there's a local group, Community Forest International. So they are doing some offsetting, but still the burden is on the business to figure out their carbon footprint, which we really think that our solution, figuring this out for people, taking the action to offset it, is a turnkey, easy solution for businesses. So our financial projections. Here in 2023, we believe we'll be able to get 10 customers. From there, 30 in 2024 and 60 in 2025. Going along with this, we show strong revenue with healthy profit margins following. So who's the team behind this? So there's my partner, Brian Williams, who's a forester with 20 years experience. And then myself, I'm a software developer, and I worked for 4 years in the forest technology industry. And previously, we led some of the most technologically advanced forestry projects in North America. So our current status, we incorporated just over a year ago. And in the spring, we did some initial fundraising. And through the summer and fall, we've been partaking in a couple different accelerators, such as Energia. And what that's allowed us to do is it's really allowed us to refine our business model and narrow in exactly on what we're going to offer to businesses and how we're going to execute on it. As well, through the summer, we conducted potential customer interviews. And this was super valuable for us. What we found was we met with lots of different CEOs and business owners across Atlantic Canada. We found that really it's professional service businesses doing about $1 million or more per year in revenue that is feeling the pressure right now to do something about their carbon footprint. So that's allowed us to start targeting those people for our sales. And then as Daniel mentioned, we had our first customer in November 2022, and we're starting to do this more and more now, doing footprint analysis, and it's go mode now. We're trying to sign people up. We're having lots of interesting calls. And the intention is to start putting trees in the ground in May 2023 and taking real action here in the next year. So what is our ask here tonight? Tonight, I'm looking to sign up 100 acres of land to be preserved right here around Fredericton. So, if you're interested in this and you want to take action right in your backyard, come chat with me afterwards. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dylan. That's a great idea. So it's great to be here in person. Nice change of pace. And it's my pleasure to introduce Ashwini and Asset Lux today. So my background, I'm a tech entrepreneur. I like CEO Black Arcs. Our product, City Sketch, describe it as arcade-style city building analytics. So I like to create new products or do a new capability using a deep tech. So it was great to, I'd say, mentor, but really compare notes with Ashwini. And I think the thing you need to learn when you're doing, like, say, a tech business and you're applying a different way, it's challenging. It's really tough. I'm on venture number 2, and you get worn out and you might get leathery. And then to hang out with Ashwini and just the attitude and the passion. It was, for me, it was actually a recharge. And I think the thing, too, if you're doing a new thing and it takes a while to get adoption, it's tough. You really need to be a missionary of what you believe in, your product, what you're doing. And I have no doubt that Ashwini is a perfect missionary to create the change he wants to do and apply this deep and impressive technology in a way that I think would create more value. Anyway, my pleasure to introduce Ashwini with Asset Lux.
Bonsoir, Canada. So 1962, Albert Einstein was walking with one of his assistants. And his assistant said, Dr. Einstein, did you just repeat the same exam to the same students in 2 consecutive years? Yeah, I did, he said. It's like, how's that possible? Well, he says that sometimes the questions remain the same, but the answers might have changed. In other words, what has got us here today is no longer sufficient to lead us there. And if we need to reach the energy transition targets, we need to start reimagining the way we deliver engineering today. Hello, my name is Ashwini. I'm the CEO and founder at Asset Lux. We're a product company based in Luxembourg. We help accelerate early stage engineering projects 10x faster. Take a close look at this modular plant. There are lots of multiple disciplines in it. You find structural, piping, lots of valves, lots of instruments. Now, there are 2 problems in this. Engineering companies and the ecosystem comprises of end owners and contractors. While contractors are waiting to monetize their profit margins, and they're constantly finding tools to get in quicker and accurate estimates. And on one hand, you have the end owner, like Irving Oil, waiting to get their projects commissioned quickly. So there's always that tug of war that is happening between the 2. And software companies around the world are doing every bit to solve this challenge. We're in 2022, and the problem still exists. So why? How is engineering happening? What's the big deal? Well, there are too many softwares out there, basically, each doing individual disciplines. And because of which, there's data. There's a lot of data, but it's fragmented all over the place. And then there's constant repetition of that data amongst different discipline engineering communities. And all of this adds to the project cost. So basically, end owners, like oil refinery owners, for example, are leaving money at the table. So let's try and imagine, how are we going to solve this problem? We all want a faster solution. We all want a smarter solution. And we all want an affordable solution. So we at Assets Lux got all those softwares eventually that perform 3D CAD models, designs, analysis, and the eventual calculation reports holistically based in one single multidisciplinary solution in the cloud. How does it work? You're anywhere in the world. You just log in with a simple access, cloud-based. You're a process engineer or a piping engineer within an engineering group. You're simultaneously working in the same virtual digital twin plant. Let's say you're a structural engineer and you parametrically create this model quickly. You can clone models quickly. Not only can you clone models, but you can add all the details in it right at the front stage, like a Lego piece assembly. Simultaneously, your piping guy is working on his piping discipline models. And within a less time, the models merge together. What we need to take out of this is not an engineering class, but essentially get how are we achieving a complex project in a less amount of time. Okay, great, sounds good, exciting, but design is not how it works. It needs to prove the value. Assets Lux has executed 16 projects till today with some of the promising companies worldwide, where we executed it with their conventional ways, and if they would take 23 days using IDS, it takes them 12 days with 4 licenses. Similar case with another project, they would take 26 days, we take 5 days using that. There's a huge opportunity gain for the contractors who can monetize over this, and for the end owners who are waiting to get their project commissioned quickly. These are some of the encouraging feedbacks from the customers in the world who are basically trying to say that we are here willing to change, and we are here to support innovation. So we are glad to say that we have the 8th hottest biorefinery end owner on our portfolio right now as a first customer, that is Praj, with a current traction and expected 45% growth at the end of this year. Now, the beauty of the technology that we've done is it can be applied to several markets, but we've picked renewable energy market, looking at the need of the hour. And looking at the total addressable market of 1.9 billion euros, we understand that all those softwares that we are trying to replace in one holistic platform constitute 970 million euros. Now, change is hard. So imagine convincing engineering companies like Irwin and Exxon to not use those conventional softwares and use this. So we've slashed that, targeting 390 million. And Assets Lux is very confident in taking this 20% of the market in the next 7 to 8 years. We are primarily based in Luxembourg with a key market in USA and India. The way our business model works is IDS entirely is for a premium suite. There's a standard suite, and there's a gold suite. We today are establishing trust by executing a lot of projects with engineering companies. And with that trust, we would like to convert those into MRR licenses. We started our journey in 2018 with simple equation modelings, coding, and being supported by local national grants in Luxembourg, as well as a huge support by European Commission. And now we're in a stage where we're ready to commercialize integrated design suite. Canada, one of the most promising, largest energy markets in the world. And Assets Lux is delighted to soft land over here, to begin its commercialization plan. And the model in which we would love to do this is basically take in and communicate with the local engineering companies and work in collaboration with UNB so that together we can execute the local engineering projects right here in Fredericton with exciting students from the engineering community. Our revenue projections come from projects, licenses, and the edutech model. That said, my own experience of 22 years in petrochemical refinery sector has only complemented this. And some of the brilliant minds that I'm working in my team just adds to this. IDS. Again, huge support by the Luxembourg National Research Fund, Generator, University of Luxembourg, and cannot thank enough to Energia Ventures to bring me and introduce Canada, and had a great time in the last 3 weeks that I spent in this lovely town of Fredericton. So here I am from Luxembourg, seeking out to all the community out here to help us bring this change, and let's make Canada the promising country to digitally innovate the engineering market, not just here, but worldwide, seeking this fund for an 18-month runway. Stop working in 2Ds. Let's start working in 3Ds. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Ashwini. I wanted to echo the introductory comments because I don't even think you'd been here for 5 hours. I woke up in the morning and I was like, greetings from Fredericton, Miriam. When can we grab a coffee? So the energy that Ashwini brings to her business is evident, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you do in the future. So for those that don't know me, my name's Miriam Whalen. I'm a lawyer at McInnes Cooper, and I'm a mentor with the Energia Cohort. And just before the pitches started, I was actually reminiscing with Adam here about one of my first introductions to Energia might have been in my first couple weeks at the firm. Actually, Rob Baird, one of my mentors, brought me to a demo day. And it was at demo day that I, kind of realized, wow, I really want to work with startups, because the energy in the room was apparent. I was extremely inspired by all of the founders. And so I just wanted to say thank you again for having me today, and thank you to all of the founders for all your hard work and for bringing us here today. So I clearly hate public speaking. That's why I'm a solicitor, not a barrister. So I'll send it back to Adam. But this next company is doing some really inspiring work. And I know when I had a chance to meet with them in person, I was left inspired, and I hope that you will be as well. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Adam Starr with Recircle Waste Management Solutions.
Thank you so much. How's everyone doing? I'm a little nervous. I didn't know the crowd was going to be so good looking. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much for having me, everybody. And happy Tuesday. My name is Adam Starr, and I'm the founder and CEO of Recircle. And we recycle waste where it's consumed profitably. And we allow others to do the same. And I'm thrilled to show you how global problems can be solved at a local level. 3 summers ago, I had the privilege to travel to Ghana, West Africa for a social justice internship. While there, I lived and breathed the plastic problem. But in collaboration with the community, I was inspired because we found a solution that I'm bringing back to Canada. Because 91% of Canadian plastics are landfilled. Because waste management companies cannot recycle the contaminated and unsorted plastic that they're collecting. But the plastics that do get recycled are shipped overseas for other countries to deal with, and our government pays for that. Now, this linear business model and lack of recycling infrastructure prevents a $7.8 billion revenue opportunity for the Canadian economy, while forcing our manufacturing sector to continue relying on importing plastics from all over the world to meet our domestic consumption rates. Now, this problem also shows up on a local level. While volunteering for a campus cleanup initiative at St. FX University, I uncovered that the institution pays $140,000 a year to landfill roughly 600,000 pounds of plastic, which is 200 pounds per person per year. But Recircle is disrupting a 50-year-old industry by vertically integrating every single level of the plastic waste supply chain by turning waste to collect, sort, shred, clean, and remanufacture plastic waste into industrial raw material right on site. Now, how do we do this? Well, it starts off with our proprietary technologies, and it's our shredder. Our shredder is the backbone of our operation, and it takes whole plastic and grinds it up into millions of little pieces. From there, it comes into our decontamination technology that is provisionally patented, and it separates all of the non-plastics, such as cardboard, metal, glues, papers, inks, and labels, the regular contaminants, while dissolving the microbial, chemical, and oil impurities found in the present waste stream. From there, it's then pelletized, and those pellets are suitable for manufacturing supply chains. I have some that I can show everyone afterwards. Further to that, we have 3 machines that can create end market materials, and we're really using these for R&D. We have a sheet press technology that can create indoor and outdoor furniture. We have an extruder that can make plastic lumber, and an injection machine that can make bricks as well as consumer products. Now, the value proposition for Recircle is that we provide waste management infrastructure for large campus ecosystems to recircle their plastic waste profitably by transforming 60% of their waste management costs into a 3x revenue opportunity, and we do this with 100% recycled raw materials that are suitable for domestic manufacturers. Now, the way we make money is on a licensing model for $80,000 on an annual basis. From there, we take a 25% cut from the revenue of our licensees, and then a $1,000 monthly maintenance for $182,000 of an ARR per customer. Now, Recircle has successfully validated our early adopter group, and we've entered the market with academic institutions. We currently have a 600 square foot facility at St. FX University with all of our machines operational, and we have a space and a deposit from Memorial University to implement in December 2023. Though we do recognize that academic institutions aren't traditionally in the business of waste management. Though, with socially conscious and environmentally driven people, students, faculty, and staff are extremely frustrated by their inability to make a meaningful contribution to the plastic problem, which is why we have 56 researchers around these institutions conducting research to solve current plastic waste recycling problems in collaboration with Recircle. Now, I mentioned large campus ecosystems, but we believe our vision is way, way larger than just academic institutions. That's industrial, commercial, and institutional ecosystems. So think corporate sectors, hospitals, malls, indigenous communities, municipalities, apartment buildings, cruise ships, resorts, and the list goes on. When it comes to competition, everyone within waste management is competing to the right to the raw material. Whomever is able to recircle it into a value-add product as fast as possible, that's the niche that we're trying to cut out here. So there is competition. So how do we stand up on a business front? Well, community engagement and impact, we recycle waste where it's consumed. So those that are on St. FX campus right now know what's happening to their plastic. Not only that, but we provide cost savings and revenue opportunities for our user customers, first of its kind. We're also decentralized. We're able to recycle waste where it's consumed under one roof. Furthermore, we make value-added products, and again, we're here to take climate action. Now, I mentioned that they're competition, but the beauty of where Recircle is positioned is that we intercept plastic waste before it goes to the landfill, and we pelletize it. And these companies right here that were on our competition slide, they all need pellets to produce their product. So that's how we plan on collaborating with them in the future. But what's happening right now? Well, manufacturers are importing plastic waste from all over the world, which is a significant financial and environmental cost. But Recircle's disruption plan, by licensing technologies to institutional settings, companies such as Neocon International, that makes interior auto body parts, does not need to rely on importing plastics from all over the world. Rather, they can buy local from institutions because we provide a clean feedstock of recycled content that meets the demands of their customers while also helps them diversify their product offerings with recycled content. Now, St. FX, to onboard, it's $210,000 of an investment for their first year, while their total cost savings is $490,000, and their annual profit is $280,000 just in their first year. Now, their second year, they don't need to worry about implementing the actual machines, so that brings their second year investment to $160,000, again, and with their annual profit being $330,000 moving forward. In terms of our financial projections, like I said, we have Saint-FX and Memorial in our pipeline, and we'll be securing them as customers in 23, and then we'll be in the $12 million ARR mark by 2027 with 50 clients. In terms of our market size, what this encapsulates is the plastic in North America, as well as the large campus ecosystems over 5,000, which brings us to a $97 billion TAM. Our SAM includes Canada, and our SOM includes Atlantic Canada, Quebec, and Ontario. Our commercialization plan. Recircle have successfully launched, and we broke ground making our first product 3 weeks ago. We have onboarded our team, and we're reaching our new commercialized machines for the new year. And the way we're going to finance this is through a crowdfunding campaign to reach our commercial MVP in December 2023. Now our dream team. It's myself, Greg Linton, our CTO, Richard Grant, Director of Operations and Product Development, and Mike Shaw, who's another equipment operator. I'm privileged to have these gentlemen on my team. But further to that, it takes a village to do anything. So a major shout out to our mentors and partners, because we would not be where we are today without them. So our robust team of industry experts and business professionals are seeking $500,000 to reach critical mass to meet the demand of our customers. And the way we'll be spending that is 30% on R&D, 40% on salaries, and 30% on technology development. The Canadian government seeks to reach a zero plastic waste economy by 2030. Yet there's a truckload of plastic entering the ocean every single minute. Think about it like an overflowing tap. Current solutions are only mopping up the water, but Recircle is turning off the tap for future generations. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Adam. As you can see, he has a great personality and it was very enjoyable working with him the past 3 months. So, Leila Terrio, I'm an investment analyst at the New Brunswick Innovation Foundation. For the last 3 months, I've had the pleasure of working with this amazing cohort, and it's kind of weird looking back, it's been 3 months because it honestly feels like a couple of weeks ago. Today I have the pleasure to introduce Antonio from SolarFi. I remember the first time meeting him, I thought to myself, we sat down actually at the Energia space. We started talking. My first question is always, how did you start it? Tell me the story behind it. And I remember after a conversation, I was left like very impressed. He's super mission driven, and he's gonna do well. And I'm very excited that I've been able to work with him. So we're going through his pitch deck. Then I had a moment. I was like, I've seen this before, and he says, well, you know, I have a location, our products in this very famous restaurant. I've seen it on Instagram. So I was literally having a pretty girl moment. I was like, oh my God. So we really kick it off really well. And I'm very excited for what he's going to be presenting to all of you. So Antonio, kick off the stage.
It's showtime, baby. Yes, sir. How's everyone doing today? As Leila said, I'm Antonio Dixon, founder and CEO of SolarFi. I'm going to try to speak slower. You know, the New York in me wants to always speak fast, so if I talk a little too fast, let me know. So, as Leila alluded to, we're an impact-driven community company. We build solar-powered pods for both disaster relief space and emergency response, as well as hospitality. So, this is one of our pods. We have 2 pods, Bliss and Privé. I'm going to talk about Bliss Pod, and these pods are all solar-powered, and they can be used in a variety of different ways. But 70% of our business is focused on emergency response. We just saw Prince Edward Island just get hit with a natural disaster, people without power for 4.5 weeks. Poor Adam, Dylan, they were like, wow, what do we do without power and internet? Tornadoes, hurricanes. We couldn't even have this event right now without power and internet. Hospitality, events, concerts. Think about companies like Coca-Cola that are looking to pop up sustainably. We live in a new world where you can't do things the way you used to do them before. This all began in Africa. I took 2 years off to travel the world, and I saw people in Ghana without access to electricity and power. So hence the name SolarFi. Wi-Fi for the internet and solar for the energy. 4 billion people in the world don't have access to internet connectivity. 4 billion according to Microsoft. And 1.5 billion don't have access to power. And half of those people live in Africa. But I still, when COVID hit, I still wanted to have impact. But I was like, I'm not going to be in Africa during COVID. So emergency response was the way we could do that. So providing these solar-powered pods for these natural disasters. If you look at the US, last year alone, they had over 18 natural disasters that totaled over $20 billion in damages. Climate change prices continue to rise, and we're fighting back with the same problems, with the same technologies that cause them, these generators and things along those lines. So we created the next generation solar-powered pod. It's life-changing, it's game-changing, and it's saving communities. Now, Adam, Dylan, if you guys had SolarFi, you'd be able to connect with us and not be without video on some of our calls. And that's the things that SolarFi can do. It can help people communicate. We have portable power, and all of the walls are basically solar-powered. All of the walls are solar-powered. So what we're providing here is infrastructure as a service. So the infrastructure that these companies need and the governments need to help make our lives much easier. But we're more than an emergency response company. We bring fun. We make solar sexy. If you look at these projects here, we've been in 7 states in the US. We did New York Fashion Week with our solar-powered pods. Models were able to socially distance model with our pods. We work with, Layla mentioned restaurants such as Italy. We put the first solar-powered pod on 5th Avenue. I always tell people, there's Neiman Marcus, there's Saks Fifth Avenue, there's Italy, and there's SolarFi, right? We've got game-changing products on 5th Avenue, and we allow people to be able to be in their own private space while they're dining. People are looking for unique experiences. They don't want to be in malls anymore. And these big companies, they're looking for ways to do that, and that's how they come to SolarFi to do this. So on the hospitality side, on the top picture here, you see this in Boston. If you look at being in Boston, the seaport area, it's windy all year long. You don't want that wind blowing your food over. So our pods help restaurants stay in business and provide a comfortable space for clients. At the bottom, you see New York, snowing. You know what? Why not have a winter wonderland and be able to enjoy yourself in the snow, all with solar-powered pods? Give you a perfect example. Some people say, why do you have 2 pods? Well, Alabama Power took both of them, right? The Privé is very popular for tailgating. So if you think of tailgating and people want to have unique experiences inside of their pods, now you're able to do that with SolarFi. On the top part, the Bliss pod also works as a disaster relief side for Alabama Power, but also they can have pop-up bars that are all, again, renewable energy, solar-powered, powers the entertainment system, provides the Wi-Fi, and allows brands like Alabama Power, the big bad utility companies, to look sustainable. So we help brands demonstrate their sustainability in a sexy way. And we have great margins. We have 10-year lifetime value of the customer is over $200,000 based on a $35,000 manufacturing cost. So who buys these things? Are you going to buy this thing for disaster relief? No. We work with our lead investor, RF1, Response Force One. They've been doing this for over 20 years. So they're our lead investor and our top customer. So Response Force One has the clients, right? They have the government contracts with state, local, and federal government. But each one of these contracts start to require a green solution. That's why they invested in us. When you have a green solution, it's easier to win contracts, as well as customers like Disaster Management Group. They want to be able to show how we're going to respond to these natural disasters in a sustainable way. So we sell to them, and then they sell directly to government. We do $3 million in revenue in our first year, and we scale that up in 5 years to $25 million in revenue with $12 million in EBITDA. Again, we have great margins, but we do this by having a triple bottom line impact: sustainable, economic, and financial. Had a great meeting today with Dom, UNB, to be able to flat pack our solar powered pod, because right now we're moving them on trailers, so we can bring 2, 3 at a time, but how do we support DOD, right? You know, we got this long runway here in Fredericton, where it's the longest military runway. So now we can load these planes with thousands of these solar-powered pods, and we can help disasters, we can help people in Africa that don't have access to electricity and power. And if anybody knows anything about that, it's Andre, right? All these people in rural areas in Nigeria and Ghana, they need power and internet to connect. Then we'll roll out our next generation pod, which I can't tell you too much about right now because I can't. So I've been doing this for a while, right? I've started a company called SunPower. We made solar-powered lanterns. We provided light to over 300,000 people in sub-Saharan Africa. I've run 4 presidential campaigns, and I've done B2B medical device sales with Siemens. My partner, Eddie Mignard, he's responded to every natural disaster in the last 20 years. He's been a partner at Deloitte, at Accenture, and I ran UNICEF here in Canada. Alan Vignard ran sales and marketing for Coca-Cola. And a lot of people don't know about Ogilvy, but Ogilvy is one of these large advertising companies, the largest. And companies like this, they need to go to their clients like Coca-Cola and say, hey, here's how you can pop up sustainably. Here's how you can do X, Y, and Z. And they can work with SolarFi to do so. Our team has been great. We were landed on the cover of the Forbes Next 1000 last year. And what does this say? Resiliency proves vital to small business. Every entrepreneur needs to be resilient, and our team has been able to do that even during the pandemic. We take advantage of our advantage. What does that mean? Well, give you an example. In New York, if you want government contracts, 30% of government contracts have to go to women and minorities. Unfortunately, there's not many women and minorities in the clean energy space, especially going after natural disasters. So that gives us a huge competitive advantage. And so, tomorrow I'm going to DC to meet with government because they really want to be able to show, hey, we are working with diverse clients in our procurement. So why are we here? Well, we need $3 million. Everyone take out the checkbook. $3 million. And that's going to help us manufacture here in Fredericton, create jobs in Fredericton, and be able to expand these innovative, game-changing pods to developing countries and also in the US and the Caribbean. Thank you very much for your time. I'm Antonio Dixon, and it's been a pleasure to be in Freddie.
I'm writing a check.
All right.
Okay.
We take crypto too.
Thank you, Antonio. I'm Val Kober, the program manager. First, I would like to express a huge thanks to UNB, to Dr. Paul Mazerol, the president and the vice chancellor of UNB, to Dr. David McGee, the vice president of research at UNB, to Dr. Dhirendra Shukla, the chair of the J. Herbert Smith Center for Technology Management and Entrepreneurship, to Joe Allen, our managing director, and to the entire team at the J. Herbert Smith Center. Thank you. Second, I want to thank our funding partners. Without them, we couldn't do it. So first, for Atlantic Canada Opportunities Agency, ACOA, and to New Brunswick Innovation Foundation. Truly, without your support, we wouldn't be here today. Thirdly, I would like to convey a special thanks to our mentors who have been extremely supportive in the last 3 months. It's been a long journey, but without your support, these guys wouldn't do it the same they did it today. Lastly, a great thanks for all of you tonight for joining us. We hope you have been inspired with our amazing founders. So please stay around, meet and chat with our founders. They really want to meet and greet everyone in Fredericton. Thank you, take care, and hope to see you in our future events.